Hey, yesterday we were talking about teams that not enough people are talking about to go on a run in the playoffs. You chose the Chargers, correct, Christopher?
I did.
You chose, who did refresh my memory? Packers? Mm-hmm. And I chose the Rams. I'm going to choose one that some people are talking about, but maybe not enough. And it is unbelievable that it's a division winner with 11 wins and a potential 3-time MVP quarterback. But I'm going with the Ravens as well. I don't think enough people are looking at them as a deeper threat. And unbelievably, I think the reason why is because of their potentially 3-time MVP quarterback. Because no matter what you're seeing out of Lamar Jackson in his career to date, and I have, a half dozen pages of research from NFL Network on this game, and one entire page is filled up with Lamar Jackson's professional achievements through his first X number of years in the NFL, and certainly this past year. But the reason why that people are not maybe looking at Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, as a deep threat is because in the seasons that he did win his previous MVP awards, he went 1-2 in the playoffs. That's why.
Yeah, 2-4 lifetime.
And in terms of his playoff record, you take a look at his entire body of work. Lamar is one of 6 quarterbacks with a winning percentage of 700 or better since the merger, 1970. And he's the only one of those 6 with a losing record in the playoffs. The other quarterbacks with a winning percentage of 700 or better are named Mahomes, Brady, Staubach, Montana, and Peyton Manning. That's, to use the phrase from Midnight Run, a pretty respectable neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And though he's the only one who's 2-4 in the playoffs. Yeah. He's got the largest differential between his regular season win percentage and playoff win percentage of any quarterback since at least 1950. Anytime I have been saying anything positive about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens going on a run on this show, and it gets posted, when I do look at the comments, TJ, the number one most common answer and retort is he's going to blow it. Yeah. He's going to blow it because he's never beaten anybody of significance in the playoffs. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah, the numbers are not good. He's only at 57% completion percentage in the playoffs. 1 300-yard game in 6 games, 75 passer rating, 6 touchdowns, 6 picks. It hasn't been great. Even in the wins, it hasn't been dominant or overly, MVP-like. It's weird.
Right. And, you see last year, his postseason win was against a rookie C.J. Stroud, making his first career road playoff start. And I told you yesterday with Knicks and Jaden Daniels getting their first career playoff starts on the road, the last rookie quarterback to win on the road in the playoffs was Russell Wilson, and he was going against a fellow rookie in RG3. And Lamar's beaten C.J. Stroud, and he's beaten Ryan Tannehill. Those are the 2 quarterbacks he's beaten in the playoffs. So now that I've given you everything out there about why I think not enough people are saying, okay, Lamar's been out of his skull to the point where he's getting a lot of buzz for back-to-back MVP campaigns when Josh Allen is available for somebody to get the MVP award, or Saquon or Jared Goff, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you why. Another reason, I guess, why you're not thinking about the Ravens because of Lamar Jackson and how it may not be sustainable, while also telling you the reason why you're wrong. Lamar Jackson, okay, has the 6th most rushing yards per game in the history of the playoffs. How about that? Now, that's why you're thinking it's not sustainable. Huh? Your quarterback's leading your rushing attack. Number 1 all-time is Terrell Davis. Number 2 all-time is John Riggins. Number 4 all-time is Eric Dickerson. Number 5 all-time is Emmitt Smith. Number 6 all-time is Lamar Jackson. Why did I skip number 3? Because the third leading rusher.
Oh, let me guess.
With the most rushing yards per game in the history of the NFL playoffs.
Is his teammate?
Is his current teammate, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, okay.
Derrick Henry is the first player besides Lamar to lead the Ravens in rushing since 2018. Lamar's led the Ravens in rushing every year since he's come out of college. Finally, somebody's looked at, and it was always the question is like, oh, well, who's he going to throw to? Nobody has no one to throw to. They don't have a passing attack in Baltimore. That's the reason why they're not going to win. Now, the question is, finally, somebody's taking the rushing load off of him.
So we're going to get more than 8 running back carries
Look at
in a
this
playoff game?
face on the screen. Infinity Sports Network, this is one of his 80-plus runs this year. I think it was against the Bills when he did this? It was against the Bills.
Against the Cowboys.
And he just, imagine this individual coming and running and hitting you
I'd prefer
at
not.
full
Step
speed,
aside.
looking like this.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, thanks.
I don't want to think.
Deion Sanders taught me this phrase a long, long time ago. It's called making a business decision. When you're on defense, I'm going to make a business decision. I'd like to be in business. I like the business that I am in. So I will sidestep. Or not, I'll arm tackle. The 5 years that Jackson led the Ravens in rushing is the most seasons and longest streak as a team's leading rusher by any quarterback in NFL history. Doesn't have to do that now. Now he's got 22 behind him or to his right or his left. And that guy has averaged the most rushing yards in December or later in the Super Bowl era. 99.8 yards per game. Ahead of Barry Sanders and Eric Dickerson. That's the difference. That's why they went and got him. Let's see. Because I'm thinking, wrong or not, right or not, the defense is going to be right around where we expect them to be. And Lamar Jackson may not have Zay Flowers. Obviously, that's big. That's big. But the fact that anybody's like, yeah, Lamar's just going to blow it. He's got Derrick Henry now. He's got Derrick Henry now to tenderize the Steelers' front seven. He's got Derrick Henry now to terrorize anybody's front seven with some ball fake, play action, or keeping it himself and doing that rushing thing. It's a different ball of wax. We've not seen it yet. Lamar Jackson, in all those years of going 2-4 in the playoffs, has never had someone to hand off to who's got more rushing yards than him. They got Lamar a running specialist, and not just anyone, a future Hall of Fame one, who just came up with 130-plus yards and 2 touchdowns on his 31st birthday. So he's got a nice head of steam into his first postseason as a Raven. That's why. And so people are talking about the Ravens as a threat, but not enough people are considering them a threat because, Lamar's just going to blow it. Lamar had this to say, because he's self-scouted too, gents. This is what he had to say about his past issues in the postseason.
Do you have to remind yourself not to be too amped up for games of this stakes? Is that something that in your career you've sort of, I don't want to say battled, but is that something you still have to remind yourself to settle down in these games?
Yeah, I just be too excited. That's all, too antsy. Like, I'm seeing things before it happens, like, I got to calm myself down. But just being more experienced, I've found a way to balance it out.
You know how to balance it out, too? Hand it to 22. I'm serious, man.
Yeah, Rich, I know you're saying people are sleeping on them. They have the 3rd best Super Bowl odds.
I understand that. I guess I'm making the mistake I tell TJ not to make.
Yeah.
I'm reading the comments.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, it's okay to do that.
It's called feedback. I understand. Engagement, as they say in the business. But honestly, so I guess I'm directing this message to all those, they're not going to do it because Lamar's just going to step on his Jackson, you know. And I'm like, he's got the diminisher right there. And also, you want to talk numerology too? The Ravens won their first Super Bowl in 2000. Then they won their next one in 2012 in New Orleans. Now it's 12 years later after that. In New Orleans.
Are you kidding? This is a dream.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.